Hello and welcome to the Kinda Queer podcast, hosted by a couple of kinda queer folks. My name is Ryan, and I am a cis pansexual man.
I'm Annika, and I am a bisexual something. We're figuring it out.
Hey, that's great. Love to hear it.
Oh.
So I guess we should start with the things that you do know, right?
Oh yeah.
Start off a little bit easier. So, when did you know that you were bi? And if you can remember, what made you realize that you were bi?
Well, I mean, I guess I always viewed, girls differently, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't realize I viewed girls differently, and then this is very specific. I think it was eighth grade came around, and I
Uh-huh.
watched. Was it eighth grade? I don't know. Whenever Avengers: Age of Ultron came out.
Oh, uh-huh.
And I realized I had a massive crush on Elizabeth Olsen, aka Wanda Maximoff from the movie.
Uh-huh.
And at first I didn't know if I wanted to be her because I was always, I had like a penchant for like the witchy stuff and like the overpowered female characters, as
Yeah.
one would.
Uh-huh.
And then I'm like, wait, she's kind of hot. And,
Mhm.
and that domino effect into everything. And now I can proudly say I'm bisexual.
Well, that's fantastic. That Avengers, of all the things.
Avengers, the worst Avengers movie.
Yeah, Avengers Age of Ultron, it's great.
Now that I'm thinking about it, it's kind of funny.
So, do you just go into like Disney Plus now and you're just like, oh yes,
Oh my god.
give it all to me?
I do have pictures of Elizabeth Olsen saved on my phone, so you know what? You gotta respect the OG girl crush.
Yes, of course. You have to. Otherwise, you're doing something wrong.
Exactly.
Honestly, I don't remember who like my first guy crush was, but I can guarantee you it was probably just like uh some some twink from some TV show. That's probably what it was.
Yeah, and then I'm like looking back, like when I'm finally comfortable in my sexuality and stuff like that. I'm like looking back on like my childhood TV shows. I'm like, it
Mhm.
wasn't this character. It wasn't this. It was the worst Avengers movie. I'm like looking back and I'm like, it wasn't Shigo from like Impossible. It wasn't Kintara from Avatar: The Last Airbender. It wasn't Alex from Wizards of Waverly Place. No, it was
Oh my
it was
god.
it was Wanda Maximoff for some reason that made me realize it.
You just like listed off my childhood too. So
Yeah. Just like looking back, like how was I not like I guess attracted in a similar way, or maybe I was and I just didn't realize it.
yeah, because you should have at least had a crush on Alex.
Exactly. I mean, I do now, but
Yeah, of course. Because I know I certainly did, but I also yeah. Yeah. I also had a crush on David Henry, so who really,
oh
it's
my god.
it was just like everyone that was even slightly attractive on TV, I was like, yes, 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 thank you.
You know Selena Gomez and David Henry dated, right?
Did they?
Yeah.
Oh, that feels weird to know now.
It does, doesn't it?
Wow.
And then Selena Gomez went to his wedding, I'm pretty sure.
As she better.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Yeah, that's weird. Mm.
That is kind of weird. It's like it's not incest, but it feels like incest.
It really does. Yeah. Moving on from the kind of weird
Oh my god.
sort of incest thing. How has coming out been for you if you have at all? Like have you had good experiences, bad experiences?
Well, in general, I've sort of come out in like the what is it? The least showy way.
Mhm.
I guess if it comes up, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm bisexual. If it doesn't, oh well.
Yeah.
I've sort of like I'm not. This was especially like in high school and stuff, right? Because that's
Yeah.
when I finally like figured myself out. I I was just more of a. I'm not hiding it, but I'm not actively going out and telling people this. Like even my friends, I don't know. If you ask my friends, they'd probably not be able to like pinpoint a specific time when I told them, "Hey, I'm bisexual." It was always kind of just a known thing.
Uh-huh.
However, I'm not super out to my parents. There was one experience with my mother that I'm very confused about. I don't know if it went well or if it went wrong, but as of right now, I think my mother either completely forgot about it or is just trying to hide the fact that she knows it's
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, just shove it underneath like the
Exactly.
closet, you know. It's well, yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
She's pretending it doesn't exist anymore.
As you do, as I did for a while. Um, yeah, I definitely had a very similar experience. Like throughout all of high school and like the end of middle school, which is when I first realized that I was uh,
Oh my god,
that
same.
I liked men. I was like, you know, I'm just gonna not tell anyone. I'm not gonna go out of my way to, you know, not tell people. Except for that one
Yeah.
time when my friend asked me, he was like, "Hey, are you gay?" I was like, "No, silly." Um, but like, especially in high school when got like more confident about it for myself anyway. I'm still not out to like my dad, but in general, like when I was more confident about it, like around people that I didn't know, like complete random strangers or like my friends, I was more like, I don't really care if they know or not. So like if it
Yeah.
comes up, like if they ask again, then I would say yes. But you know, that's how it goes.
Yeah.
Do you remember who the first person you told, or at least the first person you like explicitly told that you were bi?
Explicitly, I don't know. Like obviously it would be someone like one of my friends from high school, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't ever remember explicitly telling them that. I just remember it being kind of a thing cuz and then oh, surprise surprise, one of my like best friend is also bi.
Uh-huh.
So that was funny, I guess. And then at the same thing too, I don't think we ever actually explicitly told each other we were bi. It was
Mm-hmm.
just a thing that existed.
Yeah.
Though I do, the only time I do remember well, my God, explicitly saying I was bi was funny enough at that our journalism camp thing.
Oh, yeah.
I told Ashton and Sophia just straight up, oh, hey, I'm bisexual. We were in the laundry room.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I just remember straight up saying that.
Hey, gotta start somewhere. Yeah, isn't it weird how, like, I mean, at that point, I assume you weren't complete strangers, but isn't it weird how it's easier to just go up to, like, a complete stranger and be like, yeah, I'm gay?
Yeah, no, it's so much easier. Oh my God. That you just know you're probably never gonna see them again,
Mm-hmm.
or at the same time, you're not gonna see them enough where it like affects your life.
Exactly. It's like, you know, if I tell you and you completely despise gay people, then that's fine, because I just don't have to talk to you ever again.
Oh, the most you could do is hate crime me.
Yeah, I mean, you can hate crime me, and that's fine. You know, I just kind of accept it at that point. You'd be like, you know, fair. You
Yeah.
shouldn't do that to other people. That's not what I'm saying. But me
Don't hate crime
personally,
other people.
yeah, personally, I wouldn't mind dying sometimes. So,
Oh
you
no,
know.
I know what you mean. Imagine no, you know what? Getting hate crime, you'd probably have a really good scholarship coming up.
Yeah, probably. You know, I'll take the free money. I'll take it.
Exactly. It's like when you don't look both ways when you cross the street in the hopes of, getting hit.
Yeah, I remember. 'Cause you brought it up, but like the viewers probably don't know, or the listeners. I always say viewers as if they're watching this with their eyes. It's like, no, you're listening. We went to a journalism camp program thingy
Yeah.
that was kind of partially associated with like the Boston Globe and other people who are important in journalism.
Yes. Yeah.
And I don't really know how to explain it, but it was honestly really fun, and
It
I had
was.
a great time there. But also, that was I never like told anyone there that I was like, you know, gay, but
Yeah.
I feel like that was probably like the first experience where I was like hinting at it to people, because
We
like
did do your makeup, I'm pretty sure,
yes,
right?
yes, that like that, mm-hmm, yeah.
Late at night in the dorms.
Yeah, that was one of the events where that happened. Cuz I remember like when we first like uh all got together and like started talking about like interests and stuff so they could
Hmm.
find ideas for us. I just casually brought up like, oh, LGBTQ stuff.
Oh yeah, it completely flew. To be honest, I think that completely just like flew my mind mostly because I'm like, oh yeah, that's normal, that's
Yeah.
cool, you know,
Uh-huh.
like it's nothing more than oh, how's the weather kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Like the thing is, a straight person could do that very easily. Like
Exactly.
you don't have to be gay to like be interested in that. But for me, I was definitely like trying to hint at like, yeah, so I wouldn't mind, doing something like that. And then
Yeah.
yeah, the makeup thing. Like I don't remember who it was, but there was at least some other person who's like didn't want to do it. I was like, no, I want to do it. Just do it, man.
Was it? Oh my God, I know Ashton did his makeup. I don't. It's oh my God, it feels so long
It
ago.
does. It
I'm
does.
actually currently looking at the picture. You rock a red lip really well.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I know. Yeah. The thing is, like, I realized before doing this, like a while ago, that I enjoyed having my makeup done because of drama. Like, I never was an actor, but like, I was one of
Oh
the
yeah.
techies, and like, it was a
Hmm.
tradition to have like the techies get their makeup done by the actors before like going out to the after party after the show. And like, it was then that I was like, oh, well, I don't hate this. I guess the other question that I have is, are there any childhood memories that you can think about where now that you look back on them, they could have been a sign that you were gay, or it's just like, how I should have known earlier.
I genuinely, this is, this might come as a shock to many. I'm sure a lot of people actually experience this. I don't remember a lot of my childhood, to be honest.
Uh-huh.
Like, everyone's like, especially, oh my God, frickin' TikTok.
Oh
It's
my
like,
god.
they're like spouting psychological facts left and right. And they're like, oh, if you can't remember most of your childhood, you probably experienced something traumatic. And I'm like, ah, crap. What? Excuse me? And I genuinely don't remember like a specific memory, but I mean, I did love to be, what is it, a tomboy, I guess. I
Mm-hmm.
preferred being a tomboy and like specifically went out of my way to be a tomboy. But looking back on that, that could have just been like, internalized misogyny because I didn't want
Yeah.
to be a girly girl.
Mm-hmm.
So like now I'm like comfortable with what is it? I guess girly stuff. Like if I
Mm-hmm.
have a pretty dress, I would love to wear it. If I
Yeah.
like doing my makeup, though, I hate taking it off. I like wearing makeup and I like going out looking pretty and everything, right?
Yeah.
But I hate it because taking it off is so difficult.
It is such a pain.
But yeah, the only like indicator I have is that I dress like a tomboy, but that's kind of out the window now considering I like what is traditionally considered female girly stuff.
Did you have, other than Wanda Maximoff, did you have any other crushes?
Well, now this is I don't know if I had crushes or if I just admired people.
Mm-hmm.
Like all my favorite characters were the super strong, independent woman.
Mm-hmm.
And then now I'm like, okay, was I attracted to this person or was it just, I guess, an admiration?
Yeah.
Like, cause now I'm like, oh yeah, Katara from Avatar: The Last Airbender is hot. But I'm like, as a child, did I think she was hot? Like, it's like kind of one of those realizations, like, oh, this person's hot now,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know. It's I think one of the worst things for me is a lot of my, I guess, attraction comes with admiration.
Mm-hmm.
So people I admire, especially well now specifically, people I admire, I tend to be attracted towards. I don't. That's
Yeah.
such a weird thing to
I mean,
say, but
no, I think that's usually, or at least I think that's normal anyway, because I mean, I usually find people that I admire attractive because it's like, oh, wow, they're so perfect in every way.
yeah. And then it's so hard to like, draw the line. Like, is this idolization or is this like genuine attraction?
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna give an admission of guilt. I only recently watched Avatar: The Last Airbender, like last year.
Oh no! Oh my god! Oh, you watched it during the resurgence?
Yeah, yeah,
It was my childhood, man. That was my childhood.
yeah. I only watched it last year because a friend of mine was like, "You haven't seen it? You have to." I'm like, "All right." And then I watched it, and I was like, "Why didn't I watch this sooner?"
God, yeah, Avatar: The Last Airbender was my entire childhood, man.
Mm-hmm.
It was like the only sort of Asian representation we had on TV.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was like, I watched it, and even though like none of my ethnicity and my culture wasn't actually explicitly shown in the show,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, it's a kind of like before, like, I don't know if you know this, but the new Raya movie, the Disney princess Raya and the Last Dragon or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
So that one's Southeast Asian culture, and so that one I'm obviously gonna kin Raya very, very much, and
Mm-hmm.
what is it like begin identifying with Raya in that movie a lot more. But when I
Mm-hmm.
was little, I always identified with like Mulan because,
Mm-hmm.
oh, she's Asian like me. And then at some points and then when Moana came out, even though I'm not Pacific Islander, I'm like, oh, Moana looks a lot more like me than Mulan does.
Yeah.
So Avatar: The Last Airbender was like literally the only show I watched, and honestly, think looking back on it, it should have like triggered, what is it, like a queer response or something. But
Yeah, the minute, like the millisecond that Sokka let his hair down, I was
oh
just like,
yeah, oh yeah.
I was just like, fuck, it's over. I'm done. So there was that, and then Zuko, my boy Zuko.
Yeah, I knew I had a crush on Zuko.
It was. I really wish I had watched that show sooner, but
Yeah.
I didn't because I'm fucking lame.
Oh my god.
So you brought this up to me before we started recording, and so I have the question for you now. In what ways have you been questioning your pronouns?
Well, okay, so I with everyone, I think this is actually common right now because of, COVID-19 and everything, a lot of people are staying inside and they don't have to, I guess, perform for like society and the outside world. So a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people have sort of been discovering themselves. Like that's why we have an unprecedented amount of people like coming out and stuff right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess like staying inside was a part of that. So, but this is so funny. I joke about this, but I don't know if this is genuinely the case.
Mm-hmm.
So my name is, I guess, fairly unique in America, Annika, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's fairly unique. So I've gotten a lot, and I mean a lot of mispronunciations of my name.
Mm-hmm.
And at some point, I just like, stopped caring. I'm like, oh, you can call me Annika, you can call me Annika. I really don't care. My
Uh-huh.
favorite high school teacher called me Annika, and then I was like a junior, so I had him for like almost all 4 years of high school. And then I was a junior, and another teacher came in and corrected him at one point. And he's like,
Mm-hmm.
"Why didn't you tell me this before?" And I'm like, "I genuinely just do not care." And I think
Uh-huh.
because of how I view my name, it's kind of similar to how I would view my pronouns. Like I genuinely do not care what you use to describe me.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's super funny, but at the same time, that might actually be true.
Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know like how I would feel because like the thing is for me, I know that if someone like used like the incorrect, like pronoun or whatever for me, I wouldn't care because I just like I'm not, I'm not exactly toxic about my masculinity, so I'd be like,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, whatever. But I don't know if that's the reason why I wouldn't care, or if it's because like I secretly wouldn't mind like being like a he they or something like that.
Yeah, yeah. I'm like mostly. I genuinely do not care, and I would say, oh, all pronouns or whatever pronouns you want to use, right?
Mm-hmm.
But my only like what is it thing is I identify. I guess sort of identifies as like a cisgender woman. I guess again,
Mm-hmm.
that's up for debate right now.
Mm-hmm.
But there's like so much, I guess, like gender discourse and stuff. I genuinely don't know if, oh, me being a cisgender woman not caring about my pronouns is offensive to anybody,
Yeah.
and I'm like very worried about that.
Well, Well, listen, I don't think it's offensive because no matter what, everyone goes through something, and
Yeah,
the fact that you're questioning is not a bad thing at all.
that is true. Yeah.
Because no one is 100% sure about anything at all
Oh my god.
times.
Yep. Yep.
So the fact that you're not sure is completely fine, and you don't have to be sure ever or for a while.
That is so reassuring.
Yeah, like for a long time, I was not sure what type of gay I was. Because like I knew I went like back and forth between like I like guys, I like girls, I like guys, I like girls, I like other people, I like non-binary pals, I like,
Yep.
and it was just like all this back and forth in my head. And for a while I was like, I'm just gonna identify as queer because I just don't know right now. I'm not sure. Um, and it took me until like probably I would say junior year of high school where I was like, you know what, I like the label pansexual, so that's what I'm gonna go as.
But I know what's funny. I guess what is it? So bisexual is typically like what? The attraction to two or more genders, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I guess pansexuality is the attraction regardless of gender, right?
Yeah.
So in all, I guess what is it? Cases I do not care too much about gender or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I felt more comfortable with bisexual, and this is like not what is it? This is not me trying to be like anti pansexual or anything like that. But I felt so much more comfortable with the label of bisexuality than I did
Mm-hmm.
pansexuality. So I identify as bisexual, even though at least in most cases I'm attracted regardless of gender.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's just a matter of what you feel more comfortable with and what you think suits you.
Yeah, 100%. I could very easily go and say, yeah, I'm bisexual because I like two or more genders, but I just, I found the term pansexual and I
Yep.
liked how it felt about me. And I think in a lot of ways, bi and pan are very easily interchangeable.
Like a Venn diagram.
Yeah, yeah, like there's very little stuff that doesn't overlap between the two. I
Hmm.
mean, you could even argue that they are the same because
Yeah.
like there are people that argue that, and I I wouldn't be like, "No, you're wrong." I'd be like, "Okay, if you feel that way, sure." But basically for me it was just like, I like how pansexual feels, so
Hmm.
I'm gonna go with that one. And I think that's how a lot of like the queer terms and labels go. It's like whatever you feel comfortable in, that's what you should choose. Because
Yeah.
you don't want to feel uncomfortable with what you are or what you choose to be. And so I think it's better to just go with what you feel comfortable with.
Exactly.
And I think that that's something a lot of people should try and understand more, because there's some people who are like, "Oh, you can't be this." It's like, "Shut the fuck up,
Yeah,
dude."
this is one of the things that because before this, when I was like telling you about the things we can talk about,
Mhm.
gender envy was one of the topics that came up, and it's something I recently discovered this year, right?
Mhm.
And then I discovered literally like yesterday that gender envy was a term that only transgender people should use.
Mhm.
And this is and like I get it, like especially when you've been what is it, like oppressed for such a long time, you want to, keep your culture to yourself sometimes and
Mhm.
keep it. But like there are cisgender people who only identify as cisgender because it's all they've known. They
Yeah.
want to explore, they want to, and I think it's one of the like downfalls of our like of the LGBT community is that a
Mhm.
lot of the times we're so scared to share
Yeah.
that we don't allow people outside of the LGBT community to like explore themselves,
Yeah.
like because I genuinely think I have like some sort of gender envies towards certain like people. Like I would try on an outfit that I saw a guy wearing and
Mhm.
wish it was seen on me the way it was seen on this guy. I'm
Mhm.
pretty I might be like, taking the term out of what it actually means and you're not using it correctly. But like from what I've heard, it's what I genuinely feel.
Mhm.
But because I currently identify as a cisgender woman, difficult for me to explore that, you know, because
Yeah.
like I'm not supposed to feel gender envy as a as a cisgender woman. It's apparently just envy,
Hmm.
which I get, but it's so difficult for people to explore because we've been stuck in the binary for so long.
Yeah. I think, again, this kind of comes down to like the questioning part where it's like,
Hmm.
the thing is, you are questioning this. It's not
Yeah,
like you're not straightforward going like, yes, I am this. And that, I think that's perfectly fine because again, you're not sure. And that's fine. Like the
yeah.
way I see it is there are people who have transitioned and then realized that they were wrong and then they
Hmm.
detransition. And that's fine and that's perfectly okay too. And the fact
Yeah,
that they used all like the quote unquote transgender terms when they did that, that's fine because
that
again,
is true. You are right.
they were just questioning it. They were trying to figure things out for themselves. It wasn't about hurting anyone or degrading anything. It was just like I'm trying to figure myself out and I'm trying to see what works and what doesn't right now. And I think that obviously your intention is not to hurt anyone or make anyone feel bad or take away anyone's culture. It's just you're trying to figure yourself out, and that's okay.
Very true. Ah, it just sucks that I'm so comfortable with identifying as a woman. I'm like, oh God,
Man, I hate being a woman.
I hate being cisgender. God damn.
Yeah. So I guess along those lines, I'm interested to hear a more general story because you brought up that like as when you were younger you were like more tomboyish. What are your general experiences with gender?
Well, it's so I live in a very like traditional household and
Mm-hmm.
culture. So while I am like, constantly telling my parents, "Hey, don't be homophobic. Hey, don't be transphobic," growing up, I had to discover that on my own.
Mm-hmm.
So like I didn't realize all these like different, I guess, labels and terms and like, oh, people can be different than what they were born as
Mm-hmm.
much until like I want to say eighth, maybe high school, maybe even like
Yeah.
because I didn't start becoming much of, I guess, an activist until high school, until I guess the bubble I grew up in just kind of popped, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Because I live in a very, what is it, like a very white conservative town. I grew up
Mm-hmm.
in, the redneck woods of Massachusetts.
Yeah.
So it was, I didn't realize, and then, it's what is it, the GSA, unfortunately, the stereotypical GSA in American high schools. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, and then like they came out and like they didn't really come out with and like but they sort of like I guess shared all these terms because there were people that were in the GSA that I guess were like obviously in my school, like in my classes and I don't know
Mm-hmm.
why I that like took so long for me to say.
Uh-huh. It's good.
But but like like terms like alt like demisexual or non-binary or
Mm-hmm.
things like that. I'm like, what? Like I knew that transgender existed,
Mm-hmm.
but because it had been beat down that transgender is bad, while I didn't necessarily view it as bad, I never really went to try and understand it. So it wasn't until high school that I learned about these things exist, these people exist.
Yeah.
And also due to the internet, because when I was in high school, that's when I started getting social media and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So my parents finally let me get an Instagram as a freshman.
Yeah, definitely there is a really big issue with like the public education system.
Mm-hmm.
I can't say anything about the private education system because I've never been a part of it.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about it. But the public education system, from what I've seen anyway, does very little, if nothing, to kind of bring awareness and teach about all of like the queer things. Like growing up, I was never taught about these things that there are people who are non-binary, that I could be non-binary, that like
Yeah.
all these different things, and I didn't know about it until I realized that I was queer in some way and I started researching it because I was like, well, if I'm queer, I want to know more about like other people who are queer in different ways. And so for me, it basically like I had to go out of my way to figure these things out and learn about them. And the only reason that that happened was because I was queer. If I
Yeah.
if I was straight, I probably would never have really learnt about these things until very recently because of like how uh prominent it is in social media.
Mhm.
But you know, up until that point, nothing. There probably would have been nothing. Like yes, I would have known that transgender people existed, but my idea and view of them would have been very median. Like it wouldn't have had like much leaning towards one side or the other or understanding.
Same, until I like learned more about that community and things like that. I was very much just like, oh, they exist. Okay,
Hmm.
whatever. Like, it didn't really affect me, so I didn't really have an opinion on it.
Yeah, and that's I think because I mean school systems already do a pretty bad job of teaching sex education,
Yeah.
but I feel like there needs to be more there that's also like at least giving resources to like kind of like show that all of these queer things are existent, like they exist, because a lot of people don't know, and then they go years of their life like feeling like they're like weird or strange or that there's something wrong with them when there isn't. And I think that's something that the school system really needs to change.
As much as I love to brag about, oh, I grew up in American public school, I have experiences that no one else ever could.
Hmm.
And as much fun as it brought me, I would trade all that in for like genuine education on like minority groups.
Hmm.
That would have changed. I think, unfortunately, I think a lot of the fact that oh my God, I literally cannot speak today. This is what happens when you try to talk to me at 10 a.m. Oh my God.
Uh-huh.
I think like the one of the genuine reasons why I ended up learning so much about LGBT culture, or at least as much as I know now,
Hmm.
is because I was already a minority. Like besides being bisexual, I was already a minority in my town, in my school.
Yeah.
So I unfortunately had to learn like a lot of harsh truths growing up.
Hmm.
And so I guess because I know I'm one minority and now I'm another, I had to figure it out myself. And then, God bless the internet, I figured out
Hmm.
everything else alongside that.
Yeah. How has being Asian affected like all of these other things about you? I mean, generally speaking.
Yeah, well, obviously, I come from a very traditional household, which is
Hmm.
like I could go on and on about it, but like a lot of the reason I think this is not to like hate on white people or anything, but
No,
a lot of
it's all right. It's all right. Go ahead, do it. I'm a
a
white
lot of
man.
the a lot of the reason why my family is so traditional is due to like colonization,
Hmm.
because Cambodia, the country where my family is from, was colonized by the French, and so
Hmm.
the white man put their ideals on us.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I know this is the case for Filipino culture, but like indigenous, like before colonization culture, they're like they didn't have an opinion on gender.
Hmm.
And this is also something I had to come to terms with myself. So I'm a Buddhist,
Hmm.
culture, and so I'm Buddhist religiously and culturally, because that's the way I was raised.
Hmm.
The Cambodian culture is the one that I guess rejects the LGBT community. Being Buddhist, like the religion itself, has no opinion on that.
Yeah.
If anything, you should respect a gay man just as much as you should respect a straight one in
Yeah.
that culture, in that eyes, because karma and everything. But
Hmm.
that is something I had to come to terms with. I guess like anyone does. Like if you anyone of any religion, Christianity, things like that. Because I
Hmm.
know in my culture, like the culture my parents was raised in, the culture I would find back in Cambodia if I ever visited again.
Yeah.
Again, I talk as if I've been. Oh my God. But yeah, it's something I had to, because I love being Cambodian, I love being a Buddhist, but
Hmm.
obviously there are aspects that I hate about it, which is again like the exclusivity again of LGBT community, the LGBT community. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay. I don't know what is going on. It's 10 a.m. That's all I have.
Yeah,
That's all I have.
you're good. You're good.
But yeah, I guess it took me a long time to realize that, oh, I can be Buddhist and, my religion literally has nothing to do with hating the LGBT community.
Yeah,
Like, because, like, oh my God, if I was like publicly out and, visibly, I guess, gay in Cambodia, I would probably get hate crimed.
hmm,
And then I'm like, you know what though? Like, Buddhism is supposed to be accepting of all and it's supposed to be respectful of all. So that
yeah,
has to include gay people. Cause like, and then I'm like, culturally, like the people at the temple I attend would say no. My
hmm,
parents would say no.
hmm,
But, you know, according to the teachings and everything, it's supposed to be accepting. Like, yeah.
yeah,
Like, probably, you know what? Probably even the monks would agree with me.
hmm.
Maybe. I don't know. There's a lot of drama with the monks at my temple for some reason. I don't know. Oh my God. Monks get down, man. Monks get down.
That's good to know. Yeah, I think that, growing up for me, because obviously, well, I don't know why I said obviously. That sounds weird, but like I am privileged because I am a white male, and that's just
Hmm.
inherently part of our culture. Sadly. Hi, future editing Ryan here, because I just want to clarify a few things. I don't know where I'm inserting this, but I just want to clarify a few things. First of all, the things that I'm talking about here, the problems that I'm talking about are in no way worse than what others go through, and I'm not trying to devalue other hardships from other cultures. I do not want to do that ever, and that is not what I'm trying to do here. I just wanted to bring up some issues that white queer people who grow up in traditionally white American conservative communities may face, because I believe that all these things deserve to be talked about, but I just want to clarify because I'm paranoid about things and I don't want to ever hurt anyone. I do not mean to devalue anything else because this is very, very first world, very privileged problem to have. Okay, so just I don't mean anything by other than to just simply bring it up. Also, I know that there isn't really a white culture. I use terms like that to encompass the privileges and stereotypes that are held for white people and the ideals with which white people are typically quote unquote supposed to withhold. So when I say things like that, I know there's not actually a white culture. Like that's not a thing. I understand that. I'm just kind of using terms like that to kind of better encompass what I'm talking about. I hope that makes sense. Sorry to interrupt. Back to your regularly scheduled podcast. And so, growing up like in that family and in the community that was predominantly white, it definitely, it was it was hard for me because like I didn't know what was culturally okay for me to do and
Yeah.
say. Like when I realized that I was gay, I was like, is this even okay? Am I
Hmm.
allowed to be gay? And I don't know, like, but the other aspects of my life kind of told me otherwise, and I think that, I really had to, and I still do, but I had to fight like all of these white stereotypes, which is like, I have to try and kind of break down like all of these prejudices that white people have, and I have to try to,
Yep.
think of a way to, I don't know, just say like, hey, white people, stop it.
You had to kind of like fight your own. Yeah.
Yeah, because where I'm at, I don't know, I had to really kind of fight against like what I was expected to be as a white man and just
Hmm.
try and be my own self outside of being a white man, and all of the privileges that gave me.
Yeah.
Um, and I think a lot of the reason why like I am the way that I am today and why I was able to kind of like break out of that to some degree is because, number one, like my mom, she was just like, she was just as accepting of everyone as, like, it didn't matter who you were to her. Like, if you were kind and a nice person, that was enough. And growing
Aw.
up with that as my mom, I was like, okay, good, great, yes. And then, like, also growing up, like, almost all of my, like, good close friends and best friends were girls. And so I think that that was, well, number one, it was like, hey, you're gay, but also it's like, you can kind of, you don't have to just be the stereotypical guy and just
Yeah.
have only guy friends. Like, no, you can do whatever you want, Ryan. Well, not whatever you want, but
You can make your own choices.
that's right, I can. And so can you, fellow viewer, listener.
Oh my god.
And then if I had like a sponsor, this is where the
There's
sponsor
the
would
spot.
come.
Yep, that's the sponsorship right there.
Yeah, um, moving on. Anyway, how have your music tastes been
Oh
influenced by your
yeah, because I
queerness?
mentioned that. Well, I think you guys even did an episode of like Girl in Red,
Mm-hmm.
like just because like I think this is thanks to TikTok again and COVID-19, I guess. But
Mm-hmm.
recently, like a lot of I guess sexualities and like things have LGBT adjacent things have been associated with songs. Like bisexuality can be described as sweater weather,
Mm-hmm.
and being a lesbian, or at least being a girl who likes girls, or I don't know what the exact all inclusive terminology is for that, but um, you would listen to Girl in Red if you liked
Mm-hmm.
girls, and oh my god, there's so much more. And then recently, again, this is why I'm like, crap, what is my gender?
Uh-huh.
Like being identifying using the oh my god.
This is a really, we're really struggling this episode.
Oh my god. But yeah, using or questioning if you should use she they pronouns was associated a lot with mother mother.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've listened to Mother Mother, but that stuff
I
goes hard.
I have not, but I will after this.
It is very, very good. I enjoy it a lot. And like now I hate to say it, but it's thanks to TikTok that I've expanded my music tastes.
Mm-hmm.
And I like genuinely like Mother Mother too, which is so funny because I'm like, oh, maybe she they, maybe
Yeah,
she they,
yeah.
you know?
Go TikTok, pop off.
Literally, oh my god, TikTok actually like got a lot of music like trending again,
Mm-hmm.
and like
Yeah.
music that hadn't been in like the top 100 for like over a decade have hit top 100.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I'm also hearing like a lot of music that kind of like gains popularity on TikTok actually
Oh
reach
yeah,
like the mainstream now. And it's like, yeah, that's
I
great.
don't I don't know if you know who Penelope Scott is. She released the song's called Rat, and it's
Mm-hmm.
like the oh my god, I don't want to sing because I'm not a good singer, but it talks about like I guess people you looked up to,
Mm-hmm.
and then I don't know if you can swear on your show,
Oh, you can. Go
but
ahead.
oh okay, but it's like there's like one line and it goes like, you dumb motherfucker, I loved you, I
Oh,
swear that I did.
yes.
That song, yeah,
Uh-huh.
she wrote that song and
Mm-hmm.
like gave a small clip it. What the hell? Oh my god, it's like mouths are moving but brains aren't keeping up.
Here at the Kinda Queer podcast, we don't have brains, we just talk.
Head empty, no thoughts.
Yes. It's basically
But
what this
yeah.
is. Yeah, no. The thing is, I want to make a petition because the thing is, like, they'll say, like, gay people listen to like Lady Gaga or
Yes, that is another
stuff
gay
like that,
stereotype.
right? But
Yes.
I also want to make it known that if you are a guy and you listen to Big Time Rush unironically,
I do.
you're
I do.
probably gay. Prob if you listen to Big Time Rush at all, you're probably gay.
Oh my god, wait, you know what else kind of makes oh my god. Hold on. Thoughts. Gather the thoughts. Oh lord. But something else that I guess made me realize I just remembered this now. This was also a really funny meme too. Jade's countdown and Take a Hint, the one or I don't know if she goes 1, 2, 3 or 3, 2, 1. I can't think right now. My head is only Jade from Victorious. But yeah, I was when she counted down. Hoof. Oh god, that made me realize I like girls.
Yeah, can I just say Jade and Beck from Victorious, one of the hottest couples possible.
Yes, literally yes. Oh my god. What's his name? Avian Jogi. I can never pronounce his name right. I feel terrible.
Jogi, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's on TikTok now.
Yeah.
And it is a beautiful thing.
Oh, 100%. Get to see his wonderful, handsome face. Like,
yes.
It's thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Adam.
Yes. That is just that. Yes. We are so gay.
Yep. It's despite like if you went into this podcast without like listening to any of the parts where we specifically say that we're gay and you ignore the title Kind of Queer Podcast, can I just say it would be so it would be so obvious to anyone listening, like, wow, these two are so fucking gay.
Yeah. Oh god. Oh my god. Oh my god. I don't know. Oh my god. I have the humor of a 12-year-old boy. I've recently started playing a lot of Minecraft. Oh lord. And I named my chest plate Boobies.
Oh, I'm glad to hear it.
Like just like boobies and letters. It's like the parentheses, space, period, parentheses. Oh god. Oh my god. My mind.
I'm gonna tell you a secret. It's not really a secret. I don't give a damn. But
I hope you know you're telling it. You're on a podcast right now. You know.
Yeah. One of my favorite video games is Mortal Kombat, and
Is it because of the boobies?
No, that's actually not why. Well, I mean, not the female boobies. So they added Rambo as a guest character, and he's always like, sad because of war and things in his like all of his dialogues. And I nickname like all of the characters weird things. And I nicknamed Rambo Big Titty Goth BF.
I'm looking at a picture right now and it fits.
Yeah.
It fits.
Yeah. I was like, damn, this dude got big titties.
He really does. Oh my god, that side boob though. Ooh. He has bigger titties than I do. Oh my god.
Yeah. So, one of the many things. And then there's a character named Gearus who's just like, and I nicknamed him Gearus Winky Face. It's just like, small things like that. It's just, I'm ashamed of myself, but I'm not. I mean, I am, but I'm not.
Oh, wow. Oh, no, I get it. I'm just looking, I'm Googling pictures as we record. I get it.
Yeah. So, just one of those things. So, yeah, kind of boobies, but also but not the female boobies.
The moobies, the male boobies.
The moobies, yes. Anyway, this is such a stark transition. Being that we both went to a journalism program, do you feel that or your other desires to take action on social issues have been influenced by you being queer?
100%. Yeah. It's like, oh, no one else wants to fight for your rights, so you gotta fight for your own, So, yeah. Again, I would say that a lot of my activism stems from, I grew up different,
Yeah.
Not specifically different because I'm queer, but different, just all around. And so, once you get into one rabbit hole, you just keep going. So yeah, like definitely being queer has definitely influenced like how I not only view the world, but how I like fight for everything and how
Mm-hmm.
much of an activist I've become. My parents hate it. My parents absolutely hate it.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I found that definitely once I started like being like, yes, I'm part of the queer community, I definitely like just all of that ramped up by so much. I
Yeah.
mean, this podcast is a great example. Like I would never have fucking done this, but now I am.
Yeah.
And like a lot of it is just because I want to give other people, you know, a chance to tell their story and talk about their experiences and have other people listen and be like, yeah, that's me. I can see myself in this person,
Yeah.
or I can see myself in this person, this really weird person who's talking about Rambo's big titties and big time rush on the podcast. Like, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, but no, duh. um, definitely the thing is, one of my best friends of senior year of high school, and then through like till today, um, is trans, and like because of that, I definitely went into like, wow, I mean, I did before, but especially like because
Yeah.
after this and like after I was like, yes, I'm part of the queer community. I was like, I fucking hate transphobes, and
Oh
like,
my. Yep. Yep. I
and
thought you were gonna say a completely different sentence for a minute there. I was like so worried. I was like, oh god.
yeah, no, but like there's so many things that being queer has made me be like, oh, I I love all people except for those who hate other
Mm-hmm.
people,
Exactly.
which is kind of strange because I don't know if you remember this, but I did one of my articles that I wrote in the journalism program was about ice cream.
Oh yeah, yeah. That was the. I think that was the one of the best ones, to be honest. That was the
Yeah,
one everyone liked the most.
and
You did a podcast on ice
I
cream.
did a podcast on ice cream.
I remember. Oh my god, I was mad at you because you didn't include my part.
Well,
I
because
was
your part,
mad.
I listen, I would have. I definitely would have. But when I hit record, it didn't actually record. So I lost like five people's recordings. And I was
Oh,
so sad and I felt so bad. But I looking back on that now, it's just like, wow, Ryan, you went from recording a fucking janky ass ice cream podcast this. And also, the whole point of that podcast was me like playing the devil's advocate and being like, wow, your ice cream
oh
choices
yeah. You were like a
suck.
complete asshole about ice cream.
Yeah,
I didn't think you could get any worse.
yeah. And and now here I am accepting all people. It's like, well, that was a complete 180, but you know, I'll
Oh
take
my
it.
god.
So, you know, I'd say I've made some progress.
You've made immense progress. Do you think it's still up? Your
Oh, it is.
podcast?
It
It
is.
is?
Yep.
Oh Lord.
It
Put
certainly
it in
is.
the description link.
Oh god. I'll put it in the description, but listen, if any of you want to listen to it, the I I am embarrassed to listen to it because I don't like listening to myself. I still think it was good.
Oh my god, if you look up the what is it? The thingy, the
Mhm.
journalism collaborative or whatever, the
Mhm.
first thing that pops up is my video. I feel
Oh.
accomplished. Oh, that great ice cream conundrum.
Yep, there it is.
Oh my god, wait, and then there's you, the JFK moonshot AR game
Oh
takes place.
god, yeah. Uh,
Oh.
so many things that happened that week. Was it just a week? It did not feel
It
like
was a
just a
week.
week.
It did not. It felt like a whole semester. I felt
It
like
did.
it genuinely felt like a college
It
experience.
did. And I'm happy that I got it because my lord was
Hmm.
that fun. It was also
Yeah.
really stressful. Like I worked so much because I was the only one ever.
You had like
Yeah,
three.
I was the only person ever to write 3 articles, and then I did like a multimedia piece for each of them, including a podcast.
Yeah.
Like, my lord.
I don't know why you did. Like, I was only given one. And like I was like, oh, I'm down to take more. They didn't give me more.
Hmm.
So like for half of the week I was done and I was like, oh, just enjoying myself. And then they ended up cutting my piece in half and I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
Like
what happened is I I was assigned, like, basically I was assigned two because they were unsure on both of them whether or not I would actually be able to do them. So they're like, we're
yeah.
giving you both of these options, expecting one of them to not work.
Hmm.
And then they asked if people wanted to do like extra ones for fun, like that they had listed like on a pamphlet of papers or whatever. And I was like, yeah, I'll do one of these because it sounds fun. So basically, I started doing that. And then I started doing like one of the ones that I was assigned. And then like the other one that they had assigned me, they're like, oh, you'll actually be able to do both of these.
Oh
So
my god.
pick whichever one you'd rather do. And I was like, well, does that mean the other one gets dropped? They're like, yeah. I'm like, well, I'll just do all of them then.
Oh my god. I remember that was so funny.
And they doubted me, but I did it.
You did it. No, and like they were shocked too.
Yeah, that was certainly something. Because actually, no, what happened was one of them didn't end up working. But there was an event going on like in the Boston Commons that they're like, here's a quick spur of the moment thing that you can go do. So I went and I
Yeah.
did that, and then when I got back, they're like, oh, so this one actually is working. I'm like, well, I did that. I have to do this one. Well, I don't have to, but I should do this one. And then I also want to do the one that I picked for fun. So it's like, guess I'm doing three now.
Mhm.
And now I've realized that this podcast just turned into talking about journalism
You
programming.
know what? That's okay. Sometimes, even though it's a queer podcast, it doesn't have to be queer 100%.
Yeah.
You know, like 50-50.
Yeah. So, I, I did that and that was fun. And that kind of helped teach me that I didn't really want to do journalism.
Honestly, I really enjoy journalism still, but it was
Yeah.
just a really good experience nonetheless.
Hmm.
I don't know. I'm a comp sci major. I don't. I just you know what? I just know I don't want to do comp sci. That's it.
Yeah, I realized that I didn't want to do like actual written journalism because I was like, because number one,
Yeah.
I know that I'm not a great writer. I don't think I'm that great of a writer. But also like it just seems like such an exhausting thing to do.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely, I am interested in like the whole entire like journalism thing where it's like all the different offshoots that you can do.
Yeah. And this is one of them.
Exactly. It's kind of why I was like, I want to do creative like things like this podcast. So maybe, who knows, maybe if I never did the journalism thing, I wouldn't have made this podcast.
You wouldn't have it. I wouldn't be on it.
Exactly. Wow. What a world this is.
Oh my god, yeah.
um the final question I have for you is, are there any other aspects of your life that have been affected by your queerness?
Huh. You're hitting the deep questions. I don't think about this stuff.
Oh,
Oh my god,
trust
I
me,
really
neither do
should.
I.
I really should think about this stuff more often considering I am, gay.
I
But
That is something that I legitimately think about often too. It's like I should think about this stuff more often, but I don't. Um, so I get it. I understand. But
oh my
like
god.
for the podcast, I'm just like, deep questions.
Deep
Let's
questions.
let's tear into these people's lives and
Cue the
humiliate.
existential crisis.
Yes, humiliate them live. It's not live, and I'm not trying to humiliate anyone.
Oh my god. I don't. Everything is like stupid surface level with me. Like the only thing I can think of right now is that I made a cottagecore lesbian house in Minecraft. That's the only thing that's coming in my head.
I mean, Minecraft is life, so
Minecraft is life. Minecraft is love. Creeper, aw man.
I love that you made a cottagecore Minecraft house.
I have a bird named Bianca.
Oh my
She's my pride and joy.
God, yes.
Oh my
Wow.
god. Like, yeah, I guess the only thing I can think of that were affected by my queerness were like, I guess, like, just like again, surface level, but like taste in stuff and like random things. Like, you know, like I don't like, you know, I think like there was the whole rage with like, oh, the cottagecore lesbian things, like I mentioned, right?
Mm-hmm.
And things that are associated with the cottagecore lesbian stuff are mushrooms and like frogs and, you know,
Yeah.
stereotypical, the cottagecore dresses and like all those things. And
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of plants in my room. I don't know if that means anything, but I have a crap ton of succulents that I need to figure out what I'm gonna do with when I move out, because
Mm-hmm.
I'm literally moving into my dorms this Friday.
Wow. That, yeah. How will you have fun with that?
Oh my god, yeah. I don't know. Oh my god. How many
um,
queers do you think will be on my floor? At least two.
yeah, at least two. At least two. You'll find them. You'll find them.
Oh, just go around asking, hey, are you a cottagecore lesbian? Hey, do you listen to Sweater Weather?
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I would
What's
be doing.
what's the pansexual anthem?
I don't know. Honestly, there probably isn't one that's well known. And if I had to like come up with one, I would probably wouldn't be able to do it because like I just don't know that much music. But I can say like I know that this is just me being gay, but back in the day, Poker Face,
Oh my god, wait.
Poker Face was just like my jam. So,
I'm going on Reddit for this to question it.
and also
Reddit is a scary place.
oh, it is. Yes, for sure. And then also like I feel like if you've ever played Just Dance and you actually legitimately enjoy it, you're gay. Um,
Oh my god, wait, you're so right.
mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, according to this Reddit thread, Everybody Talks by Neon Trees.
I'm pretty sure I've heard that song before, but I
Like,
don't
everybody
remember.
talks, everybody
Yeah. Okay, that
talks.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess I'm okay with that. I'll accept it. Could be better
Oh,
though.
you know that song was actually genuinely about being gay or being a member of the LGBT community.
I
The singer recently came out about that.
yeah, I heard about that, and then I kind of forgot about it. Because I was just like, oh, cool, another gay musician. Also, I guess I do have another question for you. I guess I'll just ask like the stupid easy question. But if you had to pick between a boyfriend and a girlfriend, which would you choose?
Oh God, I don't know. Okay. Oh God, I don't know. This is gonna sound horrible, but it depends on the situation.
Mm-hmm.
Do I have to bring someone home to meet my parents?
No,
Probably a
no,
boyfriend.
leave it. Keep it in secret.
I don't know. I feel like, okay, to be fair, I haven't had a lot of relationships with other girls. Mostly due, again, I live in a very conservative town.
Yeah.
And so I feel like I'd say I'd want a girlfriend because I've only had, like, I guess bad experiences with guys. And I'm at least hoping that, you know, a girl might be more,
Yeah.
I guess, understand. You know, like, it's like how, again, I'm like, how will I don't know. I don't. You're putting me in a bi panic. Stop it. Stop it.
All right. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Uh,
Making me rethink my whole life. God damn.
well, I mean, I know. My answer. I'll give you my answer. My answer. Uh, and the thing is, I know that I'm excluding, like non-binary people in this question, and
Yeah.
I'm sorry, and I truly apologize, but
This is very much a surface level
this
question.
is yes, 100%. This is on the spot thinking surface level question. For me, I know that like all men suck, right? But
Yeah.
also, if I'm dating a guy, that means he's gay, and that means he's less sucky.
Oh.
And also, like, I just like the idea of like dating a guy more, but
No, I know what
also,
you mean.
I feel like this is why some of the queers really, really have it figured out. Because the thing is, if I, a guy, date a guy, we just generically know each other better because we're both guys.
True. That is true. That was a point I was gonna make. Like, if I dated a girl, you know what? Like, I wouldn't have to worry about like tampons when I go over her house, you
Exactly.
know?
Yeah, like a guy, like guys know what guys go through, and girls know what girls go through, and so it's kind of
Exactly.
like, again, this is all surface level, very surface level, but generally speaking, I think queers are superior.
That is true.
uh,
It's superior to the what is it? The basis of American society, which is white cis male,
yes, yes.
and 100 times better if the white cis male is a Republican.
Oh my God, yes, please. I guess with that being said, do you have any questions for me, or is there anything that you would like to say to the listeners?
Don't do drugs, listeners. Don't do drugs. That's that. Yeah,
Don't.
that's it. That's it.
uh, you know what? That's
You put
good.
me on the spot. You put me on the spot.
I know, and I do that to literally every person that I ever have on. I always ask that question at the end. And everyone always panics, and it's kind of great. I kind of love it. Um, but I
Oh my
always get
god.
good answers, and don't do drugs is a good answer.
It's a very valid answer.
Yeah, don't do drugs, kids.
My god, anyone who watches this episode is probably going to think we were on drugs or something.
Well, no,
You got something to tell me, right?
no, I swear on God himself. I don't believe in God, but I swear on God himself that I have never actually done a drug, like an actual drug, like painkillers, yeah, like ibuprofen, yeah. But like, when I have a headache, I've never done a drug. I've never drank alcohol. I'm such a fucking lame 19-year-old. It's I mean, it's good. But also I'm very lame, and
That's what college is for. That's what college is for.
that's what college is for, but also I think I'm gonna continue to be lame on my
Oh
own choice.
no.
So
Oh no.
yeah, I know.
Hey, well, you have a podcast. I don't know if that makes you lamer or less lame.
Well, considering it's a podcast about being queer,
Oh
probably more on the lame side.
my god.
Well, with that being said, thank you so much for joining me, Annika.
Of course, this was fun.
Yeah, right?
Oh my god.
I really do just sound like I'm on drugs, but I'm not. I swear.
Oh my god. You sound so high.
Yeah, no, it's been fun. Seriously, thank you. Uh,
Yeah.
and thank you, listeners, for listening to this episode.
And keep listening.
Yes, you gosh darn better. Or else I'll come for you.
Bust your kneecaps in.
Yes, I will. I have the ability to do that somehow.
Oh.
Um,
Track every single one of you down and
yes.
just, you know.
Hmm. But yeah, this has been the Kinda Queer Podcast, hosted by a couple of kinda queer folks.
Oh god.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.
I have to try to push like the inherent, oh my god, now I'm struggling.
I'm rubbing off. I'm rubbing off.
No, stop rubbing off on me. I have to fight off like the inherent I cannot. Wow, my
Like the oh my god. I know what you I think I know what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
But I can't think of it either.
Mm-hmm.
The inherent is it like no, maybe the oh god.
I literally said the word not too long ago. Also, this is my brain shutting down.
Oh my god, I haven't had a cup of coffee yet. Oh lord.
It's the opposite of prejudice.
Oh my god, is it acceptance, opposite
No,
of prejudice, opposite of prejudice. Why does my mind know it but my mouth doesn't want to say it?
I don't know. I can't think of it. I'll reword it. I'll reword it.